We're the ones provoking this war, just like we provoked the war in Ukraine. We are now provoking a war with China. And who benefits? I'll tell you right now. Your enemy is not China. Your enemy is not Russia. Your enemy is the military-industrial complex, which has been fleecing this country to the tunes of hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars. How many times are we going to have a defense secretary say, hey, we can't account for $2 trillion in the Pentagon again? Which has happened twice now in my lifetime. So again, people are being, the war machine cannot be stopped. Who's running this country? The war machine. It certainly isn't Joe Biden making these decisions. I would like to know who is making the decisions. And I just want to remind everybody, the United States is the world's terrorist. We just set the Middle East on fire in the last 20 years. And now we're doing a proxy war in Ukraine, which we provoked, NATO provoked, and it was just admitted that we provoked it by the former Prime Minister of Germany. And now we're trying to saber rattle with China, and they're predicting a war. Again, China's not going to invade us. China's not our enemy. We might have an economic war. That's what these are. These are economic wars. These are wars in Ukraine. It's about liquefied natural gas and making sure Germany and Russia never come together, because we fear Russia's natural resources and manpower, and we fear them getting together with Germany with their technology and their capital. And so that's why we blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. That's why we're doing the Ukraine war. This is all about hegemony, imperialism, and economics. And if there's a Marine somewhere, it's there because they're about to steal some natural resources from another country. As everybody's screaming about what a bad guy Putin is for invading Ukraine, the United States is currently occupying a third of Syria. And which third is that? It's the third that has the oil. And how do I know we're there to steal their oil? Because the President of the United States said so.
And we're not even benefiting economically. Of course, that's the rub. Jimmy Dore, appreciate it. Thank you.
That incredible clip that you just watched was none other than Mr. Jimmy Dore, obviously on Fox News, speaking with Tucker Carlson. And the reason why I wanted to add a little bit of my own commentary at the end of it, trust me, it won't be much. There's nothing more that I can say that he didn't already eloquently go on to say in that short clip that you just saw. But I wanted to show you this clip because this, oddly enough, or maybe it's not odd at all, isn't the majority, ideology across this entire country. I would say opinion, but this isn't opinion. What he just said there was irrefutable facts. None of that was opinionated whatsoever. That's fact and that's reality. But due to the propaganda machine and how potent and reliable it is, so many people in this country aren't aware of our actual reality in the way that it is, and they get this very distorted view from Washington, from the Pentagon, from our quote-unquote leaders that, of course, would not allow us or wouldn't want to allow us to see what they're doing for what it actually is. And he goes on to say, obviously, as we just saw, that China is not our enemy, Russia is not our enemy, such and such and such and such is not our enemy. Our enemy is actually the military-industrial complex, which is pretty much always the perpetrator and the reason for these many conflicts that the United States, it always finds itself involved in, with these many different expeditions that they go on, such as he referenced there, setting the Middle East on fire. One can look at Afghanistan over the past 20 years before the war was finally brought to an end. Even then, they had to put the cherry on top with the failed retaliatory drone strike that killed a USAID worker, children, amongst many others. And so basically that clip there, I wanted to just upload it so people can see it in whatever meager way that I can to reach people that maybe not have seen it. It's amazing that he was able to say that on Fox News, on one of the biggest platforms or media news platforms there is in the country. That is undoubtedly a message that millions of people needed to hear, and I'm really glad that they did.